It's been a while, but I did not forget that I wanted to do my 30-day bald challenge. However, I got my hair done, and so after I take this out, I will have to give you an update. Anyways, I just wanted to talk briefly about something I discovered was a real thing that I feel like society never talks about. And I really wish they would because it would help me tremendously. But I'm not sure the correct term for this for today, but I would call it, at least from the few videos I've watched, it's called sorry, it's kind of hard to say it out loud. Um, it's called Breadwinner Depression. And I know that sounds so fucking weird, but there is really a thing for women specifically called breadwinner depression. And as I said, no one talks about it. No one warns you of this stuff. Nobody, it's not even a thing that's existent until you're there. Boop, there you are. I would say that after researching and watching videos and confessions and stuff like that, I feel like I finally have an answer to what I've been feeling. And it's really hard to explain when you finally feel like you connect to something that you feel like you've never been able to process, fully understand, or even explain why you feel how you feel. And I think for women, especially in this society, it is very hard to come across another woman who is the breadwinner. And not just that, but just the idea of allowing yourself and accepting is the part that's the real thing here. Um, Accepting your part in your relationship as that, I think, hits home because it's one thing to know that you are the breadwinner, and it's another thing to accept the fact that you are the breadwinner. Because a lot of times, I don't want to get emotional, but a lot of times, you go back and you think like, wow, growing up, I always imagined this, or I always imagined that, or I always thought this, or believed that. And if nobody ever talks to you and nobody ever says what the fuck is really going on, then you never know. So, if, my mom had boyfriends growing up and a marriage growing up, but it was like she always worked and worked and worked, and she did say some things or make complaints here and there, like, oh, I have to pay for this or pay for that or help him with this and that, but I never put two and two together because she never talked about it. She never said to me, this is what it is. So I always thought, like society taught me, the man makes more, and I just thought, hey, maybe he's just as bad with his money. I don't know, because no one ever talks about it. So I'm here to tell you it is a real fucking thing. And I'm just doing this short video. I'll go further into discussion later. But I just wanted to say that breadwinner depression is something that I'm still learning to accept, because not because I feel bad about being a breadwinner, but mostly because I feel that being put in this position is something that I wasn't prepared for and never even thought of how to handle. And especially when you really, really love somebody and will give your whole fucking life and last penny for, and have given your last penny for, etc., etc. It's kind of like you have to be able to accept the fact that you're always going to be here. And that's weird because society tells you he's supposed to be here and this is you. But in reality, why is it not okay for me to be here? And why is it not okay for him to be here? It's just a weird thing. No one tells you, hey, by the way, you're a woman and you're going to be more powerful and more willing and more able and more capable because of your circumstances for working fucking hard and for somehow being blessed to have the opportunity to be here. No one tells you you're going to be that bitch. Nobody tells you, hey, guess what? Unless you meet an NBA player or an NFL player or somebody who's a fucking doctor, you are going to be the bread fucking winner. You are a fucking woman. Nobody tells you that. Nobody tells you, hey, guess what? As a woman, you are more, and that's okay. You make more, and that's okay. You are the one who's going to provide and make a house, a home, and more, and that's okay. Nobody tells you that at all. They paint the picture of, yeah, men get paid more than women. Women are not going to be looked at as equal. Women are not capable of. Men are going to succeed more than you. Men are going to have more opportunities than you. Oh. So, my point exactly. Nobody tells you you can and you might. And if you do, it's okay. Nobody tells me it's okay. Not a single person says, hey, I know that you're the fucking breadwinner and it's okay. And it's hard because that's not what we're taught. And it's a struggle to accept the fact that that's how it is, because when it's the tables turned and the man is a breadwinner and the man is the one who's responsible and who's structured and who has the line from A to Z of how to run the family, like, that's okay. And mind you, in that scenario, the woman is the one who's sitting back and who's like, whatever he says, that's the right direction. Whenever this happens, that's yes. How much is my allowance? What can I spend? What can we spend? Okay. Like, she's not the one out there speaking and saying stuff and doing stuff and also being equal to him because society has said that is okay for her. And that is all she's going to be able to do. And that's not true. Everybody is not going to do that. No, we are not. Yes, that happens all the time. And sometimes that's what it is, but that's not everybody. And nobody talks to you about the opposite. Nobody. Like, sometimes some of us are equal. No, does anybody talk about that? Are you going to tell me it's okay? Sometimes I'm going to pay, and that's perfectly fine. Sometimes you're going to pay, and that's perfectly fine. But why does society only talk about the man succeeding? I want to be able to succeed too. Is that okay? And when I do, why is it a negative thing? And for so long, I feel like I've had these discussions with my best friends, of course, because I always felt like I need more. I need more. Give me more. I need more. Are you gonna help? I need more. You're gonna need more. Are you gonna do this? Are you gonna do that? Like, I'm looking for you to give me, but that's not fair. If you are working and if you are trying, why is that not enough? Because if the tables were turned, as mentioned, and you were a fucking doctor and I was fucking a courtesy clerk at the grocery store, that would be perfectly fine. And I'd be like, he loves me for me. Yes, I'm not the one paying the fucking mortgage, but hey, here I am. Like, why is that always the image that's built into us? And that's not reality anymore. And nobody's talking about it. Nobody. And I really wish they would, because I feel like it would have better prepared me for my mentality. It would have better prepared me for how I treat other people, and for most, of course, my spouse, because I feel like there's been times where obviously I wasn't fair and I was judgmental and I was that person and I didn't mean to be mean or I didn't mean to be that, but it was like, well, society says that you're supposed to be helping me. Like, yes, I know I make more, but you're supposed to at least do more. Like, that doesn't even make any sense now that I think about it. Now that I realize this and have started to slowly but surely accept this position. And like I said, I'm gonna make this short. We're going on 12 minutes, so I'm about to be done for this brief conversation. But I just want to say that, you know, breadwinner depression is a real fucking thing, and I'm not gonna go into all the details and emotions right now because I'm gonna make it short, but it's a real fucking thing, and I think that we as women and as society should really take a deeper look into that, because depression is one thing, but to feel like you're, I don't know, have these expectations for something that are not realistic. Because it's not the fucking 1950s anymore. Bitches is out here working, okay? We are out here working. Like, we are trying, we are fighting for equality and for recognition in the workplace. And once we get it, nobody says anything about how that feels. Nobody. Like, nobody. Been there, been broke, still broke, trying to make it, still working, and guess what? Nobody fucking talks about the breadwinner depression. You make more as a woman, as a black nigga woman in society. Who's gonna tell me what the fuck I'm supposed to feel and what I'm supposed to do? Am I supposed to feel like, okay, so now I'm not taken away from my husband, obviously, but as a woman, you're still a woman. You still have to support. You're supporting your household, your family, your husband. You're not just doing the emotional stuff. You're doing everything. And you have to be okay with accepting that.